Hi all, and welcome back to the channel. Today in my Why You Should Play series, we're diving into Palworld. Are you wondering what all the fuss is about? Stick around, because I'm about to share my personal experiences that might just give you a whole new perspective. This isn't your typical review series. Because traditional reviews tend to focus on the quality of all aspects. Too often, I finish watching a review and still don't have a clear idea if a game is right for me. That's because games are more than just products, they're personal experiences. That's exactly what I focus on here. By exploring how others interact with and feel about their games, we can better understand what makes a game truly special and decide if it's the right fit for us. Do you have the same experience I have with game reviews? I would love to hear from you in the comments. I know everyone already knows this because everyone already owns Palworld, but just really quickly. This is a survival game, like Ark or Conan Exiles. On top of that, you catch pals. You fight with the pals, use them as mounts, and they help you craft items and help you build base expansions. It's basically Ark x Pokemon with a tiny bit of village management elements. Before I tell you why I love Palworld, please consider liking and subscribing. It would count as your good deed of the day, and who doesn't want to help me out? No, seriously, it would be highly appreciated. Now let's dive into why I love Palworld. I play a lot of different games. Everything from action games to RPGs, adventure games, strategy games, tower defense, and even some FIFA from time to time. Some of my favorite games of all time are The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and the Mass Effect series. By the way, this might sound like I'm getting off track, but trust me, it will all make sense. However, since I started working full-time, I don't always have the energy anymore to play something that requires 110% attention. I do still want to game, but something more laid back. Sometimes I just want to do whatever I want to do at that particular moment. That's when I tried games like Stardew Valley and my time at Portia. Both are very fun games. However, for me personally, they just feel like time fillers. Even though I don't always want to pay full attention, I do want to have the challenge. That's where survival games come into the picture. Palworld is a survival game and a special one at that. But before I explain what makes Palworld special, let me explain why I love survival games. I have hundreds of hours in Ark Survival Evolved, Conan Exiles. I also have around 50 hours in games like Icarus and Fallout 76. Survival games basically let you do whatever you want. The premise is always roughly the same. They drop you into a world, give you a short tutorial, and then you can go. You are not bound by a quest line or by very specific steps you have to do first. You need to figure out what you need to do first, and even if it's pretty clear and without any choice. For example, build a small house, get some gear, etc. The longer you play, the more options you have. Eventually, getting to the point of today, I can either explore the map, hunt for certain creatures, expand my base, attend to my farm, etc. You have so many options, and all these options give you a sense of progression. Because I have so many options, it doesn't matter what I choose to do, and I love that feeling. Secondly, the feeling of progression is just amazing. You start with absolutely nothing in these types of games, and then 2 hours later, you have a small house. And 50 hours later, you have a house so big a small town could live there. That gives an enormous feeling of accomplishment. But then what makes Palworld special? I think it's two things. The first is that it gives you even more options, and not just more options. The extra option is catching pals, which are basically Pokemon. It adds a very familiar game loop to an already unique genre. But not just a familiar game loop, it's one a lot of us dreamed of ever since we watched Pokemon. We all wanted to go out in the wild and just catch Pokemon, and now you can do that in a genre that is known for the level of freedom you need to really live out the Pokemon fantasy. Secondly, the fact that your pals help you improve your base and work in your base further improves the feeling of progression. Seeing your pals help you expand your base and create items and weapons gives you this amazing feeling. Especially because 10-20 hours before that, you were doing it all yourself. The amount you can scale up is just huge. The feeling is really not that different from doing some real-life work yourself, or suddenly seeing 5 to 10 to 20 people. And in this case, pals, doing the work for you. It really taps into that. Just to wrap this all up, Let's summarize why Palworld is such a standout for me. It takes a genre I already love and adds unique improvements that really fit into my current lifestyle. Combining this with the nostalgia of Pokemon, Palworld becomes the perfect game for right now. Of course, there are still some areas that need work. For example, the pathing of the pals could definitely be better. But let's look at the bright side. They've already made some great improvements. They've introduced the Ring of Mercy to make catching pals easier, a multi-climate shirt to eliminate annoying gear switching, and an ore mining site to reduce the need for endless fast travel. These updates give me a lot of confidence in the game's future. I believe Pocket Pair is on track to make Palworld even better. Do you relate to my experience with Palworld? Please let me know in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.